Hello and welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time now to check in with women's basketball and head coach Kurt Westendorp. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Glad to be back for another year.
Coach, you're off to a really hot start on your season. Of course, it's very early on in the season, but you got to be pretty pleased with your squad's performance so far.
Yeah, we bring back a really veteran team, so we kind of hit the ground running to start, not just with the preseason and our practices, but then scrimmages leading into the first 3 regular season games. Like, we've really hit our stride pretty early. The team really clicks well together. So it's nice to see us off to a good start, but like you said, it's really early. We still have a ton of things to work on, but we're really pleased with where we're at right now.
You mentioned earlier on in the season in the GLIAC tournament or the GLIAC season preview that your team being so veteran is going to help you set the stage early on and set the tone. How do you feel that your team has come out and put together strong performances so far?
Well, they've done a nice job of just taking areas that we needed to improve upon last year and kind of hit the ground running with those. I feel like offensively we kind of have a good identity, knowing we have Chloe inside, you have Mallory being able to run the point guard spot. But now introducing back Caden Blanchard into the lineup, Maya Hiram being able to play a little bit in that post spot for us, kind of melding those people in together. It's kind of nice to see them click offensively. And then defensively, we've really taken it up a notch. The first 3 games really, being able to come out and really, I'm not saying shut down our opponents, but really be able to hold them down to field goal percentages much lower than we held teams to last year. Scott Carlson, one of our assistant coaches, has done a great job of kind of picking up the focus on the defensive end. Karis, my other assistant coach, she's doing an awesome job with the post defenders, being able to be a little bit bigger and stronger in the paint. So just trying to find those areas that we got to get better at right away and not just kind of resting on our laurels.
Through the first 3 games, you've had a couple big wins, a lot of points on the board for your squad, and as you mentioned, good defense. Do you think that's sort of prescriptive as you continue on through your non-conference slate and then once you get into GLIAC play?
Yeah, we've done a nice job of our defense leading to our offense. We've created a lot more turnovers these first 3 games, getting our hands on a lot of steals, which when our team can really get out and run and play an open floor game, we're extremely talented offensive players. We can put them in those open floor situations. Getting some of those easy buckets kind of builds your confidence then when you have to have the half-court possessions, because you've been able to score at a relatively easy clip in transition. Now when you get those looks in the half-court game, you're a little bit more composed. You got your feet under you a little bit more, and we can really score at a much higher percentage, than if you were playing tight because you haven't seen the ball go through the basket. So it's been a good job of complementing each other.
Mentioned those big offensive performances, and it's been from different players. You had Chloe, of course, with a big performance, and Mal as well with a 30-plus point performance, but also Caden getting in on the scoring action early.
Yeah, we feel like we have a lot of balance in our offensive attack. We have a lot of different people that can hurt you in different ways based on what the defense is giving you. So we know Chloe can do what she's done the first few games, being what she did last year. And her minutes have been a little bit limited because of the scores in some of the games, but she's been really efficient scoring on the inside. Mallory does a great job of kind of taking what teams give her. Last game out, she had 34 points. The previous game, she took 1 shot. You don't see that kind of stat line a whole lot, but she's kind of taking what the defense gives, reading. She's obviously one of the best point guards in the entire country, leading the D2 in assist turnover ratio the last 2 years. And now Caden's that extra punch now that she can do a little inside, little outside. She can shoot the ball from deep, and she's done a really good job of kind of getting finding her feet again. When you come off of a major injury like she did, sometimes you can come in and it's not quite as easy as it was before. But she's really mentally tough, and she's kind of found her ways to kind of fit in with the rest of the offense. And having those 3 being able to score big has really opened up some things for other players as well to kind of find their comfort zone. Focusing
on Mallory for just a second, she's obviously shooting the ball very well at an extremely high percentage. She's towards the top of the GLIAC so far in 3-point shooting and field goal percentage. What does that mean from your veteran leader to shoot the ball so well to start the season?
Well, when Mallory's really going offensively and has that aggressiveness, it kind of takes our team to a different level. When she's not just shooting the 3 really well, which we know that she can do, but when she's attacking the paint, when she's getting herself downhill a little bit more in some of our ball screen actions where she can really be an attacker, when she is taking that upon herself to get there, it really opens up things for the team because teams know that she can see the floor so well, but when she can attack, look off the defense, and still be able to score the ball inside, that's adding another level to her game that she didn't do as much last year. We didn't ask her to do that as much, but if she can do that more for us this year, it's just more dimensions that offensively we're adding to our team, more things that people have to cover because we know that she's going to be able to shoot the ball from the outside. She's kind of proven that over her first 4 years here, that she's a deadly 3-point shooter, especially when she has the confidence like she had against Northwood when she hit 8 of them. So we know that she's going to have some games like that, and it really just makes our offense really potent.
Of course, you've got some really great older and returning players, but some of those young kids that had to play a lot of minutes last year, like Mia Riley and Ella Irwin, have stepped up for you last year and will continue to do so in this season and years to come.
Yeah, it's been great to see Mia step in. She's an instant scoring threat off the bench with her aggressiveness. She might not have shot the ball from three as well through the first 3 games, but she's shooting it really well in practice. We're seeing other players that were freshmen last year that didn't get as many minutes. Allie Schultz has really stepped up and does a nice job. Her game has really taken a step forward, giving us more depth. Elle has been injured these first 3 games. Hopefully we'll welcome her back pretty soon. But we're able to see kind of a bunch of different lineup combinations that we have with some of those younger players getting a little bit bigger role, and then we only have one freshman on the squad. Claire Erickson has really stepped in, and she brings the added toughness, a little more of a physical presence in the post, but she can also step out and shoot the three. So having her back in, as well as Amaka Unabaga kind of stepping into another little bit bigger role. Everyone's taken on a little bit more as we go into the year. No one's really taking those steps backwards, which is a sign of a really good team, that everyone's improved over the summer. I told them it's their job to make my job difficult. If everyone is playing at a level that's really pushing each other, our practices are going to be really competitive. And once we get into those tougher situations, we really have made ourselves better with our depth.
Home opener coming up in just a couple days from time of recording this against Spring Arbor, and I'm sure you're excited to be playing in Big Rapids after 3 road games to start your season.
It'll be nice to have a little bit of home cooking. We played 2 scrimmages before regular season games started, and those were both at home. So we've got a chance to play at home a little bit, but it feels like it's been a while since that happened. So it's about 3 or 4 weeks since we played at home. But it'll be nice to be home, kind of develop that rhythm. We don't have a lot of home games before Christmas, but in January and February we're home a lot in the GLIAC schedule. So we're looking forward to kind of seeing the home rims again. We didn't shoot the ball as well the first 2 games on the road. We shot it really well at Northwood. And Spring Arbor presents a pretty big challenge. We're playing a team that's not a Division II team, but they're one of the best NAI teams, definitely in the state of Michigan, if not the best NAI team in the state of Michigan. And nationally, they play a really tough schedule. They play a lot of teams that have that D2 level of competition. So it should be a good game on Wednesday night.
Of course, a busy weekend for you as well as you play this weekend. 2 games to come up this week. And how does the depth that you sort of talked about on your team factor into, I know it's early in the season, but when you have to play that many games in basketball, it's such a grueling sport night in, night out?
Yeah, basketball is one of those seasons that, you're going from pretty hard October all the way through mid-March. So it is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and we're still trying to learn about our team. We feel like we know a lot already being a veteran team, but we got to still have things that we need to be working on. Having these 2 home games, they're kind of nice games to lead us into next week, which is 2 GLIAC games. So only having 2 GLIAC games before Christmas, those are really important for us. Hopefully these 2 this week can set the stage to be successful next week.
As we wrap up our segment here, Coach, what are you expecting to see from your team as you close out your non-conference schedule and then get into GLIAC play?
Well, I just hope to see our team just continue to grow, continue to build every game, build every day of practice. We talk a lot this year about this team trying to stay in the moment and not get ahead of ourselves. So when we do a good job of that, staying really focused on the task at hand on that day, I know we're going to keep getting better and better and better, and we'll be ready to peak kind of when we get to March.
Thanks so much to Coach Kurt Westendorp for joining us to talk about women's basketball. We'll be back for more Ferris Sports Update right after this.